So for this video, I'm going to be doing a bit of an informational thing, kind of a guide-ish, and kind of a survey as well over the new changes that'll be coming to mid lane. Now, of course, this is a lane everybody knows about, obviously, whether you like it or not, it's a huge part of the game. And this will kind of be like the ADC reworks. Now, those were kind of strange and new when they came out, obviously, but they weren't as bad as I thought they might be, and I actually quite enjoyed them now. So in this video, I'm going to be going over new items that are being brought out, item changes, which there are a lot of them actually, and all champions that are being redone through this. Now, I will be doing that in just a moment. Feel free to let me know what you guys think if you know more than me, or if you have any questions or anything. Just don't be afraid to put a comment down below. Otherwise, I guess I hope you guys all enjoy then. Alright, so for champions that are being redone, this is all the mid lane mage updates. Yeah, this came out on the forums about 3 months ago, and since then, not all that much was said about it up until recently. Now things are going to be changed around in, I believe, patch 6.9, and maybe a little bit later, but that's what they're going with right now. Things are still able to be changed around, obviously, nothing set in stone. Now, what I want to point out here is they do state which are being updated: Malzahar, Vel'Koz, Brand, Vladimir, Cassiopeia, and Zyra. Now, I mean, I enjoy all these champions as is, but, I mean, it will be kind of cool to see a rework with them. It's going to be like the ADC one was, where, like, Caitlyn didn't get all that much changed with her, or, like, Twitch and Lucian had very minor ones. Other than that, I know there will be some that are like Graves and Quinn, where they give them pretty much full overhauls, which I think will be kind of cool to see. It'll offer new things with them. I mean, they are all fairly old champions. Now, if you guys want to check this out, I will leave it down in the description. What they say in this is basically like, some are intended to lack mobility, but that doesn't mean that they're going to change them all. Like, Vel'Koz is meant to have positioning, Cassiopeia is meant to have positioning, they don't have dashes or anything. Malzahar, the person who writes this just kind of states that it's not going to be a game-breaking thing, and they're not trying to ruin any champions. They just think that some of them need a little bit of a rework. Now, other than that, they are doing a bunch of items, which I will have this down in the description as well. This was actually just put out 3 days ago. Now, I'm going to be going over really quick all the items being updated here, such as Catalyst is a big one. We all kind of know it. It gives you the health and the mana when you level up. It's great for sustaining in lane, or, well, it was. Now, that passive is removed. Now, instead, you get something called Eternity. 15% of damage taken from champions is gained as mana, and 15% of mana spent is gained as health, which does seem a little bit ridiculous, but there will be a limit, as you can see here, which is good, because otherwise that would just be a really dumb item. Now, Tear of the Goddess. This one, I don't know how to feel about, because I've always just liked stacking it up and then having a huge pool of mana. It will be changed now, so the mana regeneration will be down to 0, and the additional passive will refund 25% of mana spent. Now, I don't know how this is going to work with everyone, like people who have spells that refund mana, or stuff like that, but, I mean, I guess they wouldn't change it unless they thought it would be better this way. Chalice of Harmony. The passive is being remade now. Instead, it increases your health regeneration by 100% if your health percent is lower than your mana percent. It also increases your mana regeneration by 100% if your mana percent is lower than your health percent. God, that's a mouthful. Michael's Crucible and Athene's Unholy Grail gain this passive instead of Mana Font, which was the mana regeneration one. I kind of enjoy this more because I saw this as too close to Mora Melanomicon, the unpronounceable one. And that one's kind of a staple that's been here forever. Everyone knows it who plays the game. And, I mean, I guess if I had to pick one of them to be redone, I'd pick this one. Other than that, they do have new recipes. Like, this will be the Sapphire Crystal Amplifying Tome, plus 115 gold into a 900 gold total. Otherwise, even here, they can't even pronounce it. Ah, that's awesome. So this is being changed as well a little bit. It's going to be a Lost Chapter, Fiendish Codex, plus 500 gold. Again, there will be new items such as this in there. Otherwise, Athene's, the full thing right here, you can see. New recipe changes. There will be a Fiendish Codex in here still. So there are some things that are unchanged, which is kind of cool. gives the same amount of cooldown reduction that we all know and love, good magic resistance, mana regeneration a little bit down, but doesn't really matter. The big one I'd say is that ability power is down on this one, and ability power on more Melanomicon is the same, so I mean, unless I'm going against someone who's high in AP, I'm probably still going to stick with this one. Otherwise, they're kind of trying to put Hextech into a lot of things right now, and the biggest thing is that Will of the Ancients is being removed, and all of Spellvamp is being taken out of the game. So that's why, actually, Vladimir was picked to be one of the full rework champions. So, we'll be seeing that from them. Otherwise, yeah, as you can see right here, they talk all about why they were doing it, and all that kind of stuff. Now, the one problem I see is that they're not planning on updating Morgana as far as I know, and her passive is straight Spellvamp. There kind of will be a little bit of Spellvamp left in Hextech Gunblade. That will keep it, but they just think it's going to be just to help out the lifesteal. They don't see a reason to get rid of it. As they say, they are confirmed that this is being removed from the game. Hextech Revolver does have a new passive as well, Magic Bolt. Your basic attacks deal between 75 to 150 magic damage on hit now. 30-second cooldown shared with other Hextech items. Otherwise, this will be building into a ton of new items now. The Hextech Gunblade. Now this, we all know it, but there are a little bit of changes now, because it does have the new passive of the magic, like, on-hit thing, and the active now shoots a lightning bolt with 0 travel time, immediately slowing the target for 2 seconds, rather than the bullet from it. I don't know if there's going to be damage, or how much the damage is going to be. It does say the ratio right here, the damage, but I don't know how that's going to be in regards to the old one. I knew with the old one you could zone use it if you really needed to, but now with the 0 travel time, it's going to be instant. Otherwise, new items. First one is the Hextech Rocket Belt. Again, these are both, there will be 2 of them, and they're both going to be subject to change for names. This first one, it gives you a bit of health, ability power, cooldown reduction, and the main thing, it's got an active that's called Firebolt. It's basically just a dash like an Arialt would be in one direction that you go about half the distance of Flash, and you travel at about the speed of a Morgana Q, so it's not the fastest thing in the world. Does 100 to 250 damage, 25% of your ability power, enemies hit. Subsequent hits on a champion will just take 50% damage. You cannot go over walls with this, so this is not a replacement for Flash, it's more of a positioning tool for someone like Annie or Vel'Koz or Xerath if they just need to get around. Otherwise, like, there will be gameplay of this up right now. I'll try and get a bit of footage of that later, but it doesn't seem like it'll be that broken of an item. I mean, it is subject to change, so they will be looking at it a bit still. The other one is a Hextech GLP-07A. Obviously, I hope this is a temporary name. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't really like it that much. Otherwise, this one does give 80 ability power, 300 health, and 400 mana. The passive is shared with the Catalyst of Aeones, which is just the new one. It's new active, Ice Bolts. You basically just throw out ice in front of you, dealing 20% of your ability power, and slowing enemies hit by 60%. This does decay over 0.5 seconds. 30-second cooldown. Otherwise, Rod of Ages is being updated now. It's cost a little bit less, but you will be getting less ability power, less health, and less mana from it. Alright, sorry for cutting out there for a second. I had a little bit of technical difficulties I had to take care of there quick. Otherwise, for Zonias, there is a bit of a change now. These 2 are actually getting some cooldown reduction. The recipe change on the Zonias here will be Seeker's Arm Guard and Fiendish Codex. Now, this means that its ability power is going to go down quite a substantial amount since it no longer has the rod in it. But it does give 10% cooldown, which, I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of this one, but I mean, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Otherwise, the total cost will be down by 500, which is kind of nice, and the cooldown for the Activate will be down by a whole 30 seconds, which will be a lot nicer. Abyssal Scepter, the new recipe is Fiendish Codex plus Negatron Cloak plus Amplifying Tome. They're kind of trying to just kind of embed the Fiendish Codex and Hextech things in as much as they can, really. Ability power is down, magic resistance is up, which I think is a bit of an improvement. Cooldown reduction is 10%, which is pretty nice. Aura no longer affects minions, which that never really made all that much difference to me personally. Now scales with level, though. Reduces magic resistance of nearby champions from 10 to 25. Now, they do state here why they changed it. I mean, they said they've been unhappy with it for a while. I don't know, I personally thought it was well balanced. But if you guys do want to come and check this out, again, I will be leaving it down in the description. Otherwise, these right here are being changed as well to magic resist. Spectral Cowl is going a little bit up in price, a little bit up in health, and a little bit down in MR. We want to just kind of push them apart from each other between the Banshee's Veil and the Spirit Visage. Now, Banshee's Veil, the recipe's changed now from Spectral Cloak plus Negatron Cloak plus 530 gold. Or sorry, to that. Total cost is down, health is down, and MR is unchanged. Now, they want this to be pushed, like, straight against AP. Like, it's a build path that you want to go just to kind of completely nullify it. Spirit Visage is going to be more for, like, if you do want some magic resist, but you also want some health, and it does give you the extra increase on your self-heals. So, there will be obvious things like, if you're a Volley Bear, you'd want to get like a Spirit Visage for your passive to increase, but if you're someone who just wants to straight up defense, then you'd go for Banshee's Veil. Now, on Spirit Visage, the combined cost is lower, which is kind of nice. Total cost will be unchanged. MR is down, HP regen is up by quite a bit, and passive healing is up by quite a bit. Now, I believe that's all for this. Really, this is meant to be more of a discussion thing as well as informatory. Let me know what you all think down in the comments and what you would do personally with these items, if you're a fan of them, if you dislike them. Otherwise, I mean, I guess that should be all. Like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all later. As another week draws to an end, there will be another winner for the Shoutout. And this person this week will be named Millman, who is an Aussie YouTuber who is actually one of my more recent subscribers. Now, this guy I will be leaving down in the description on my Fiji channels if you want to come check him out. I'd say if you're interested in things like Metal Gear, UFC gameplay, real-life events like packs and stuff, and Bioshock Infinite, like some of the DLCs I know he did recently here. He does some unboxing as well, I'll show you in just a moment. It's a pretty cool gaming channel, kind of a standard one as you see. Great commentary and whatnot, and actually very well organized. That's a big thing with me, like all in nice organized playlists. He's been around for a couple years here, as you can see, started in 2012, and let's help him make his goals. So, I guess that'll be all. If you guys are interested in this, I did start this series just to kind of give back for everybody helping me out so much with this channel. All you have to do is just be subscribed and let me know, and that's all. I'll see you guys all later.